It's always nice to reconnect, and this place has been so magical in that sense because I have all of these buddies because we've all grown up in the city, and then they all just start coming back in, and we all start doing really cool stuff together. It makes me very happy.
And who would have thought we'd be doing charity things with our relationship
It's
in the past?
crazy,
Yeah.
right? Look at us go, man.
Yeah.
We're living the dream. So tell us a little bit about what's going on with this and where we're going and how people can get more involved. Hello and welcome to the Hockey Helps the Homeless podcast. My name is Gary. I'm here with my friend Ryan, who is a member of the local committee for this amazing adventure that I'm about to go on for the first time. You're a wily veteran, and basically what we want to do here today is just update you on what's going on with the whole process and where we're at and how we can really get into getting some good work done and helping out people, because that's what it's all about here. Ryan, say hello, my friend.
Hey, Gary, thanks for having me on again.
Hey,
it's always a pleasure.
I love when you're in here, buddy. We always say, old lifelong friends, it's always nice to reconnect. And this place has been so magical in that sense because I have all of these buddies because we've all grown up in the city, and then they all just start coming back in, and we all start doing really cool stuff together. It makes me very happy.
And who would have thought we'd be doing charity things with our relationship
It's
in the past?
crazy,
Yeah.
right? Look at us go, man.
Yeah.
We're living the dream. So tell us a little bit about what's going on with this and where we're going and how people can get more involved.
Certainly. Well, in case some people haven't, aren't very aware of Hockey Helps the Homeless, it is a national organization. In Saskatoon, this is going to be our 4th annual tournament. To give you a little bit of a recap is that this is not just a regular event. This is kind of something that is more of a life experience that we're giving back to the community while enjoying, right?
Yes.
So basically what we do is that we bring in past NHL hockey players and we actually put on a tournament. So we have a draft night on a Thursday, and then we play a full day of hockey with the pros that are chosen, that we're able to draft the night prior, and then we play a full day of games, and then all the benefits, all the funds that we raise is that actually go to local organizations. So is it we have the YWCA, the Friendship Inn, and the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Center.
Very excited. And if you've lived in this city as long as we have, you know about these places and these people and how much work they do, and just to be able to help out in any way is so fantastic. I like to joke around and say I've always wanted to really, really see how I match up against like pro players. And I don't mean that in a good way. I mean, like, can they hit me with a pass? Because they call me the black hole with our rec team. Any pass that comes my way, it's just gone. So I always say, well, that's just because the rest of the guys on the team aren't very good. So I'm very excited to have an actual pro throw me a pass and see, well, I guess realize, because it will definitely be just me, and continuing to be the black hole. But getting out there and playing with your heroes, that's what we were talking about before. It's so exciting to me.
It is, like I said, it's not just, it's not just an event. Is that we're actually, doing things and actually having like real life experiences with the pros. They're so telling stories throughout the dressing rooms. Is that we're, and not to mention is that we also hear the pro aspect, but we also see what these organizations in our community are doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most rewarding thing, is it to be able to actually have fun and to do these kind of things with our sphere of influence, but also is it to give back to the people that are actually, the frontline workers.
Yes, the ones who are doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And you sit here, like we've done, like I always mention my friend Lori and Deb and everyone at the food bank, like we do a bunch of stuff with them just through the studio here. And just to build that relationship and then keep building it and then getting excited because those are our friends now. So it's like our friends are coming back in the studio. And,
for sure.
Once you get to know them, you see all the stuff they do and how hard it is. And it's like, man, I just want to help. And this gives us a perfect opportunity. I don't mean us, like all of us, a perfect opportunity to give back.
For sure. And one thing is that we are going to be doing is we are going to have, Lori from the Saskatoon Food Bank, is that we're going to have all the beneficiaries on the podcast, is to be able to kind of hear their story and how our support helps them, right?
Yeah, where the money goes and what they do with it and
what impact they have on the community.
That's the difference they're going to be making. And that's one of the biggest things for me is lots of people want to give back, they just don't know how.
Wow.
They don't have again, they don't have the avenues, but at the same time, the heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
And so if we can just steer people in the right direction and say, this is where you go and this is how you can help and make it nice and easy, it's just, everything flows a lot better.
For sure, and there's lots of ways that still people can be a part of the event. Is it so? There's one team left. Is that we expanded from 12 teams to 14 teams this year. That is our total that we can actually do, just because Murther Spellshire is only so big, right? The other thing is that we are also looking for volunteers. So if anybody is interested, is that we can use it for the Thursday the 20th or the 21st. In March there, is that we can use that. There are, if you ever were interested now, is that we do have hockeyhelpsthehomeless.com that you can actually go to the Saskatoon event and be able to register, right? Is that we need this and we can't do it without the support of volunteers.
And then as well, once you are a volunteer, you're around those players and you're a part of the event and you're doing these things that are very important to make sure this stuff goes down. And I was joking earlier about being around our idols growing up and that experience. And I'm talking with the guys here about getting a camera guy and getting like a mic set up, maybe a couple mics for the boys while we're on the ice.
Sure.
And maybe turning this into like a little sort of documentary, like a behind the scenes of what really goes on.
For sure. You're going to hear me chirping on
that's,
the ice.
Well, that's what I mean. We want to get the good stuff, right? Like I want to hear everyone chirping me because I'm the worst guy out there. And I think that would be hilarious. So another really cool aspect, which you sort of touched on, was the fundraising portion and how that works into the draft. Do you want to maybe run that down a little bit?
Yeah. So anybody that's actually a participant in the event is actually going to have to either raise or donate $500 minimum. Okay. Now, like I was saying, is that the more that they raise, then obviously the more our beneficiaries get. Yeah. But they also get the choice of what NHL Pro to have on their team for the people that actually raise the most money. Now,
it's a draft.
Yeah, and we're also talking about people that actually take this quite seriously. Is that there's some teams are raising $30,000 just themselves out of 10, 14 guys out there. So I think that one thing as I would like to say is that everything is staying local. So if you do have somebody reach out to you from Hockey Helps the Homeless, a participant, or be generous. Is that everything is going back to some really worthwhile charities that are doing some of the best things in Saskatoon, and over the last couple of years, is that these these frontline workers have, I guess, been pushed to their limits in certain aspects with the pandemic and those kind of things. So the support is needed more than ever. Yeah,
and every time you talk to anyone with those organizations, that's the big take home, is that the need keeps building. Like the need never stops. It always becomes more and more. So they're always looking for ways to expand and bring more and more in so they can keep helping. And it's this whole cycle. And to have things like this where you know that it's staying here, because a lot of charities, and this is what I mean when you're trying to find the right one to help out, a lot of them don't stay local. Yeah. And that's why you always hear, hey, raised in Saskatoon stays in Saskatoon. Yeah. And just to know that you're helping out your neighbors and your family and your friends while you're doing something that's really fun and really cool. It's like the pocket of awesomeness. I'm very excited for where this is going to go and how it's all working.
But it's a good feeling. Like you start hearing some of the stories from the beneficiaries and things like that over the last 3 years that we've been doing it, and it's they're life-touching stories that that are very impactful. And I think that it first off brings the awareness to what these communities or these organizations are doing in our community, and then also what drastic needs that we have. Is that I know my everyday life is that I don't necessarily always think about what some of the people that are needing the extra support are looking for, right?
Exactly.
So it puts things back into perspective, and and it's something that I think that we all should be giving back in certain ways. And it doesn't matter how you do it, but this is a good way that a lot of people can give back and then also have a little fun.
That's it. And we say it all the time here in this studio: do good things and they'll start happening to you. We're firm believers in the golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated.
Right.
And this just plays right into that. And we love to ride that momentum and to build up and to keep doing good things. And this is a perfect example of how that looks and how it should be done.
For sure.
So I'm very excited for that.
Well, and if you're also looking for, say if you're a business out there, or maybe not a business, maybe just a person that wants to give back, is that we do have a lot of different ways that you can actually be a sponsor of the event. Now, is that can range anywhere from $1,000 sponsorship to all the way up to a title sponsor of $30,000 for the year. So, there is lots of different ways that you can get involved. And I do think that, we just want to bring more awareness to what's happening in Saskatoon and have a little fun while we're doing it.
You say it perfectly. And the fundraising now begins. Is that what I'm to understand here?
Yeah, you're 100% right. You're on the
Okay,
hook. You're on
there it
the hook,
is.
yeah.
So now it's real. So now this is, again, where we bring this team in, and our live show on the network, 4 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. We're going to be promoting the heck out of this and reminding everybody what we're doing and how they can support it. So be ready for that as we come together to make a difference like we continue to want to do. And it feels good, man. It just feels good to do good things.
Yeah, it does. I get a lot out. I get probably more out of giving than I do
Yeah,
receiving. That's for
absolutely.
sure. Right? So if you are looking, is that feel free. Is that you can always reach out to Bob Fawcett if you're looking for that last team spot. If you're up to it. And then also, is that any of your sponsorship, you can either reach out to Bob Fawcett. We'll have his details below. You can also reach out to myself if you'd like as well. I can have those below. But do follow us on social media. Is that we do have HHTH Saskatoon when it comes down to Facebook. What do we have?
All those things.
Instagram.
All of them. Yeah.
So, do follow us. There's going to be a lot of great things. We are going to have beneficiaries on, and we are actually talking to the pros right now. So we're going to have a couple interviews with Gary and I and some of the past professionals. I'm sure he'll be asking if they can give him a real pass or
That's
not.
right. I'm ready to put them to the test. Okay, you say you're a pro, try to hit this stick, and it's everywhere but on the ice.
I'm sure they can, or at least put it in the spot where you can get it.
That's right.
So,
Make sure it's my fault. That's what I want, because it always has been, and I'm used to that. So it'll be good. I'm sort of scared about my endurance getting out there. Like, I was the master of the 30-second shift in rec hockey, and I'd always play whatever wing was closest to the bench so I could get off quick. It's like, what side do you play? Which one are we on? This one, close to the bench. So I'm excited to see if I can go longer than 30 seconds. It'll be interesting.
Well, I might be your 30-second partner.
There
if
it
that's the case.
We'll be one guy.
My token one day of the year I play hockey nowadays. So
it's hard.
That might be the case. Is that I do have to say though, if my brother Kevin does come back, that's kind of a situation where we don't get to play very often together.
Yeah.
So,
He's good too. He's a hell of a hockey player, man.
He's
like growing up. Hey, shout out to the Bobcats. Growing up the Bobcat system, Kev was always like the stud. He was like a stud D man.
Yeah.
And he was always the tier 1 guy. And every now and then I'd sneak in and I'd get to play a little bit with him. Like, man, that guy's good.
Yeah.
So it'll be awesome to watch your brother. And I imagine Greg's still pretty good too. Hey.
Yeah, he tries hard.
Oh, geez. Yeah. So we're gonna be like, I'm happy someone else is gonna be on the lower level of things. So that'll help ease the pain, if you will. Anything else you want to get out there before we roll out?
No, I think that, I guess one other thing is we are going to be opening up the actual Merlis Belchers. And so, like, if kids want to come, if they want to, see some of these pros play hockey, if they want to just come experience some of the game day stuff, is that the draft night obviously won't be allowed with kids. But if you are looking, is that you can bring your kids throughout the day, and they can have an experience, maybe get some autographs from some of the pros as well. Very cool. It is something that we do usually request a non-perishable food item at the front door, but I do think that those kind of things are a very small thing to be able to come watch some of these guys.
And just be around the fun, hey?
For sure.
Just be around that big day where we celebrate the big grind, I guess, that would be fundraising for a couple months. And
for sure.
Finally, we all come together and say, look at what we did. And I can just imagine the amount of passion and love and all the good feelings that float around there.
For sure. And our goal this year is to make it our best year yet. And by that, I mean giving back to our beneficiaries the most money that we've ever done. Right.
That's
so, not to mention have fun. That's always a part of it.
Yes.
I don't know if people know me. That's usually a part of it.
That's your go-to.
Well,
yeah. But it's a good thing.
That's kind of the idea is to raise awareness, and it is an event, but it's an event that we can give back to the community and also share a life experience.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah. All right. So until next time, this has been the Hockey Helps the Homeless podcast. On behalf of Ryan and myself, Gary, I want to wish you the best day of your life, and we'll talk to you again very soon.
Thanks again, Gary.